Welcome to Season 2, Episode 1 of Pitch In. This is the show where we discuss all the ins and outs, all the happenings around the Premier League. And my name is Tyson.
My name is God's Boy. Am I excited?
Today, guys, there's a lot of bias that's going to be happening in the show. A lot of bias is going to be taking place today. So please strap in and please get those fingers clicking. Remember that we are on all social media platforms, even on streaming. Audio streaming, which is our Apple Podcasts and, of course, Spotify. But the main channel that you can watch the show on is on our YouTube. And you can check out some of our new features that we've introduced since our last episode.
I'm quite excited about that. Doing very well, actually. We've introduced Spot Kicks, which we drop daily. This is where we kind of have a bit of fun debating a couple of, trending topics around the EPL players. We also have introduced another feature called Quick Hits, where we get a bit more journalistic. We give you a bit more information that you might not be aware of, or you might be, but we just delve a bit deeper and give you a bit more in-depth insight and knowledge around that. So that's quite exciting. Please support that. Remember the hashtag PitchInZA when you engage with our content.
These are all our predictions about what will happen in the season 2025 and into 2026. So
can't wait to revisit this at the end of the season.
This is going to be tricky. I'm actually very nervous, I'm not going to lie. Just because I feel like no one knows anything about football nowadays.
Of course. And you said something earlier on the week with one of our spot kicks. You said this is arguably the most exciting time in football right now.
Yeah, for the longest
time. There's
a
lot happening. I've never seen a window this exciting. For me personally as a United fan. But even over and above just United, just the business that's been going around has been really, really interesting. So I think there's a lot to look forward to in this season.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, just breaking news. Alexander Isak has been told by Newcastle that he will not be leaving. So that really throws a massive spanner in the works for so many teams. I think in terms of contention for the league, just in terms of one of our questions that's coming up concerning the Champions League and for Newcastle themselves, what type of player will they have?
I have a question for you because I've noticed, I've just been following the whole Newcastle Isak situation. Number one, he was told to go train separate from the team. Number two, I remember he also boycotted some of the preseason games, right? He put in the request. He wants to go to Liverpool. He made it quite clear. In fact, he didn't mince his words. He didn't even open it up to other teams. He said, I want to go to Liverpool, right? If you're Newcastle, and now there's talks around him being offered a new deal, obviously trying to entice him to stay, right? How does this end, right, in the new season? How does this affect Isak's performance in the new season? Does it affect it at all? And if so, if there's a decline, because now you have a player who doesn't want to play for the team, right? Now you're also opening up other can of worms, i.e. your teammates. They are aware of the situation. They are aware that this guy is not fully committed. How does that affect them, right? Number two, you have this situation now where he wants to leave the team, right? So as a professional, you would expect him to still perform on the pitch, right? But I have my doubts about how this thing plays out. How do you assess this situation, and what is the best play out, especially now that he's staying? What is the play out here? What is the play?
Well, I mean, we all know how English fans do when players want to leave their teams. They're calling him a rat and so forth. Yeah. So out the gate, I'm already anticipating.
And he's going to get that throughout the season, hey?
Alexander Isak is getting booed through the season by the team.
And Newcastle fans are quite passionate.
Yeah, they're very passionate. They're right up there with the best of them.
Yeah.
Secondly, I think, he definitely will be sort of outcast, or even in a sense, light bullied by, let's not call it bullying because that's a sensitive word nowadays, but I think he definitely is going to lose favor with a lot of the staff at the team, with his own manager, he's already lost favor.
I would imagine.
And as well as with his teammates.
Yeah.
So a lot of people have unfollowed him, in fact, on social media.
Really? Already?
Yes, already.
Hectic.
A lot of his own teammates had already started unfollowing him on social media. So I think, just in terms of the cultural aspect of the team, they had like a social event with all the players and the managers and the coaching staff, and he was not invited. He was not part of the preseason development, which is what it is.
Yeah.
It's a development process, developing your approach to the new season. He was not involved. So I do see Alexander Isak significantly losing game time and losing performance statistics. Right?
So you think, you would have a player of Alexander Isak's quality on the bench?
You will absolutely have him on
especially
the bench.
not having there's not many striker options at Newcastle currently.
But what
so
I
you think Eddie Howe switches the way he plays?
Eddie Howe's already switched the way he plays.
Hectic.
In anticipation of losing Alexander Isak.
Hectic.
You know what I'm saying? And I mean, obviously we know that Eddie Howe has been running the show over there at Newcastle.
Here's another question on that. Is there a disconnect now between Eddie Howe and the board? Because that says to me they're not aligned.
Well, I mean, you would have watched one of our quick hits. So check out our quick hits. I do a deep dive on the entire board, as well as the situation around Alexander Isak, Eddie Howe, and the ownership of Newcastle.
Yeah.
So short answer is yes. All of that plays a role.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this is not as simple as Alexander Isak wants to leave, so now they're forcing him to stay. It's not as simple as that.
Yeah.
Right? There's a lot of underlying issues that's happening with the management. But as far as Alexander Isak leaving is concerned, I don't think that this is too much of a hindrance for Liverpool, regardless of Alexander Isak's performance in this upcoming season. So I think the move will still be to push for Alexander Isak to join Liverpool in December.
Okay.
I think Liverpool understands.
Despite him getting less game time, it wouldn't affect the Liverpool
It's not going to affect that at all, because Liverpool is data-driven signings, right? So even though we are signing some of the best players in the world, but then that's only because they're statistically and visibly the best players in the world. Okay. So a lot of the times we've signed players that were only statistically the best players, but not visibly so.
Yeah.
And then when they come to Liverpool, they get their, upticks.
Gotcha.
Right. I mean, the likes of Cody Gakpo, the likes of Diogo Jota, the likes of, Roberto Firmino, the likes of Mo Salah. I can name a
It's
whole
interesting
bunch of
you
players.
left out Darwin Núñez.
Well, Darwin Núñez was an admitted flop at Liverpool. You know what I'm saying? It's an admitted flop. I called it a season and a half ago. In my own personal defense, I called it a season and a half ago. I got berated by Liverpool fans and rival fans alike. Can you admit, please?
No, you did call it.
How long ago?
It was. And you've been on his case, I'll admit. You definitely
Ever since someone said give him one more season, I said no. Not at 80 million pounds. But anyways, let's get straight into the first subject of today.
Yes, I'm quite excited, man. Where are we kicking off?
Signing of the season.
Jeez.
Signing of the season prediction. Who will be the signing of the season come the end of the
Should I
calendar?
start?
Yeah, you can start.
I think mine will catch you by surprise.
Okay.
I think Florian Wirtz is going to be the signing of the season.
Okay.
I really have. It's just a hunch so far. I did catch one game, right, that Liverpool played. Look, he's still obviously adjusting. He will also need to adapt to the Premier League, but also I think looking at his character and his personality, I do think he will maybe find it rough in the first few games, but I think he'll eventually get his groove. But I think also the setup that you guys have allows for a player like him to sort of gel in quite easily, right? There's a seamlessness that I see that you guys, and I think you guys owe it to your senior players. They integrate the new players quite easily. I mean, I was watching, who's the small guy?
Jeremy Frimpong.
Frimpong, right, in the game, and I was like, he seems free, right? There's even like banter around how small he is, like with the team and stuff. Like it's almost as if he's been there all along, right? And the new tall guy, the striker,
Ekitike.
Ekitike, right? Even him, like he's playing like he's always been a Liverpool player, strangely enough, right?
Yeah.
So I think that sort of seamlessness around integrating new players will make Florian Wirtz settle in quite quicker. And I think they'll teach him the Premier League way, the aggression and, winning the second balls, which is important in the Premier League. And I think I do foresee him being signing off the season material for me.
Look, I'm not going to disagree with you in terms of just like the performance of Florian Wirtz. I mean, 2 times Bundesliga player of the season. You know what I'm saying? Like he basically won everything except for the Champions League over there.
Yeah.
But I do feel though that with Florian Wirtz, the problem is just the amount of other quality around him.
Yeah.
As soon as he shines, everyone else shines.
100%.
So it's really difficult to see, the brightest light bulb in the light shop.
Got you.
You get what I mean? So I think if Florian Wirtz is excelling,
but remember,
Hugo Ekitike excels, Mo Salah excels, Cody Gakpo excels. The two wings excel. But also, Dominic Szoboszlai, everyone is excelling.
What you need to consider is, remember, this is signing off the season, so we sort of comparing him to other signings.
Yeah. But how many signings have Liverpool made?
Not necessarily.
No, but I mean, if you think about just the ones we've made, they could. I mean, okay, let's just say, because most of the time we do really consider attackers have an easier run at
100%,
the award,
100%,
right?
Yeah.
So with him, it's between him now and Hugo Ekitike.
For sure.
So with
at
Hugo, Liverpool,
yeah.
So with Hugo Ekitike being there, and all of our attacking options, and just how well Liverpool goes forward.
Yeah.
How good we are in transition.
Yeah.
How everyone kind of like they
I do get your point, because if
spaces.
Ekitike gets 20 goals, for example, he's already in running for signing of the season. And no one is looking at who's providing those assists, for example.
Making runs, opening up play, you know what I mean? So, but they will still see Florian Wirtz.
100%.
But I think his light might be dimmed slightly.
As a result.
But obviously players will always say that the greater of the greater of the team, the greater team is what they go for.
Honorable mention, signing of the season, Benjamin Sesko. I have to.
Benjamin Sesko.
I have to mention.
I'm not so sure, but anyways, because we all know how that goes. But I don't want to be called a bully. Again, bullying is like a very sensitive subject in football nowadays, so I don't want to be
So who's your signing of the season?
This one is actually going to shock you.
Okay.
And it really does go back to that analogy that I just, delivered about the brightest light bulb in the store. You know what I mean? And I think Matheus Cunha will be the signing of the season. We saw him at Wolves. I mean, we spoke about this in previous episodes. Think about Matheus Cunha at Wolves.
See that one
right? Think about Matheus Cunha at Wolves, and think about just how different he looked to all the other players around him.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think Matheus Cunha, regardless of whatever may be happening at United, whatever the developmental situation may be, regardless of how the defense does, we just had a conversation before this about Man United's defense.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter to him. And I think every single game, this guy's going to put in man of the match performances. He's that type of guy. You know what I'm saying? Even if Brian Mbeumo's there doing his thing, which he does do, we've seen it many times, I think Matheus Cunha is just a cut above the rest. Okay. And I think he really will, put in that signing of the season performance.
Interesting. I didn't see that one coming.
Yeah, I mean, the guy can play on either side of and on either foot. The guy can dig the ball deep. The guy can, you know what I'm saying? He's very aggressive, and I think he's just that type of Premier League player that's going to be a legend one day. I think Matheus Cunha is going to be a Man United legend.
That's interesting.
Look,
for me, the jury's still out. Checked out all of the United games except for the last one. I don't know. Maybe he just still needs his groove on with the team. But it'll click. I do see signs here and there, but I don't know, man. We'll see.
Really?
We'll see. I'm still not 100% convinced. Not necessarily with him, but with the team aspect, how they play together, how they complement each other. Because I think our biggest vacuum is around the midfield, right? They don't have cover. So most of them play, you can see that, you can sense that they play, they're not as free. The attacking players are not as free. They're always thinking defensively. Hence, they go to the side, they go to the back, instead of going forward. So
I reckon Cunha unlocks them, though.
Okay, we'll see.
Yeah.
In any case, moving right along, let's go into goalkeepers. Who do you foresee having the Golden Glove this season?
The Golden Glove argument is very tough in the Premier League, man. These guys score so many goals.
They do.
So it's really tough for goalkeepers. I mean, if I was a goalkeeper, I'd love to come to the Premier League because that's where you get to test yourself really against
100%.
the best. Your defense does not flatter you.
Yeah.
As a goalkeeper. I mean, we got Mamadashvili. Mamadashvili boldly said that he's willing to come to Liverpool and play as a second goalkeeper, but only as a way of challenging Alisson in that number one spot. So he believes in himself that much. So I think the goalkeepers in the Premier League this season are really the best goalkeepers in the world, in my opinion.
Okay.
Right? I think in other leagues you get like maybe 2 or 3 here and there, but in the Premier League we have a lot.
Okay.
There's a lot of there's a very good number 2s as well in every single team or in most teams. So my Golden Glove winner, and this is just based on the defense that they have,
okay,
as well as just his ability to distribute the ball, which then also keeps danger away from him, just because they're scared of his attacking threat in the back, and that will be Raya. So to me, Matt Raya will definitely keep a clean sheet, and I think, the cleanest of sheets.
Yeah.
He'll concede the least goals, and just because of the points that I made, and that will actually help Arsenal move forward a little bit better, in my opinion.
Okay, I foresee Golden Glove going to Edison at City this season.
Okay.
Yeah. I've been also checking out their preseason, and he looks a beast, man. He looks a beast. He's always been good, right?
Yeah,
but he's also quite adventurous, and I think a lot of people see him as a risky goalkeeper. But I think with how last season went, with what I'm seeing right now at City, I think there's a huge rebuild, right? The tide is sort of turning. The changes that they've made, not only in terms of the incomings, but also the coaching changes that they've also made. They have a new assistant who's quite passionate, who's very involved.
Do you know who that guy is?
No, actually.
The new assistant coach at Manchester City is Pepin Reinders.
So he's also Pep.
Pepin Reinders. Nah? Pep Reinders was Jurgen Klopp's assistant coach for the longest time. He actually left at the end of the season before, so at the end of 24 season.
Oh yeah?
And he was the head coach at RB Salzburg.
Oh, so this is like a reunion?
No, it's not a reunion, because he's now gone to Manchester City.
So say that again?
Right, so he left Liverpool.
Oh, sorry, I thought you said he left
Klopp.
City.
He left Liverpool with Jurgen Klopp.
Oh, I get you now.
And then he got the top job at RB Salzburg, right?
Got you.
And then at Salzburg, he actually got fired at the end of his first season.
Yeah.
And now he's decided that actually coaching is his thing. And now he's gone back to the Premier League, but now under the rivals, Manchester City. So that you actually make a very good point. And I mean Pep Linders used to take press conferences, used to do all the extra competitions that Klopp used to complain about. And he was actually the head coach, which is why he believed that he could be head coach at RB Salzburg.
Yeah.
So that's a very, very good point.
No, look, I've been checking out their preseason. I've also been checking out some of their coaching clips, and he's quite involved. This guy is like he's running sessions, and Pep is literally, sitting on the sideline.
Uncharacteristic.
Very uncharacteristic. So I think, I do think though that helps the team because I think it's sort of what I've realized with Man City now, which I didn't see last season. There seems to be they seem to have reignited the fire in the players. They play with so much vigor now again, like the old City that we know, right? So not to digress, coming back to our point, I do see Edison sort of retaining getting again the golden glove that he used to get.
So is that because of his own goalkeeping prowess, or do you think it's just because of a tide change in the team?
I think,
and just how well the team will be attacking.
I think it's a combination, because if you look at how last season went, it made one realize of the point you were making around when the team is attacking more, it sort of releases the risk of defending more than anything. And I think with City last season, they were flat-footed most of the time, right? They were defending, which is something they're not used to doing. Right. Yes, they defend well. They have the players to defend well, but I think they were quite overwhelmed at times at how teams were no longer scared of them. So I think more than anything, they were tested a lot more than they usually were defensively. So, but I think now the shift in mindset, when I say they've reignited the fire, I think now we're going to start seeing a much more offensive Man City this season, and I think that helps the case for Edison, because then he only comes out when he's called for, and he's actually very good at that. The one time that you need him, he's very reliable as a goalkeeper. So I do foresee him winning the Golden Glove this season.
No, shout out to that. I mean, you make some really good points there. Now to the other end of the field. Let's move on. Top goal scorer predictions. Right, so just because we literally got the breaking news just as we were about to shoot, I had here Alexander Isak if he moves to Liverpool.
Okay, that's interesting.
But that is already out.
Okay.
That's out.
Okay.
He's not
then
moving.
Let me start whilst you gather your thoughts.
No, I already had my.
Oh, you already have your
second.
Your second in terms of your choice.
Yes.
Okay.
But carry on.
Again, I think you kind of see where I'm going with this. But in any case, I think Erling Haaland is going to be retaining his top goal scorer.
Not retaining.
Well, he was before last season, so that's what I mean by that.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Reprising.
He couldn't defend it last season, right? Let's be fair, the injury that he had kind of messed him up, right? So, but even then, this guy got a massive injury halfway through the season, but yet he was, the right second. If not, was he second, right? After Salah. I think he was second or third. If Isak didn't,
he must have been third. Alexander Isak.
But I mean, it just shows you the dominance of this guy, right?
Yeah, he was third with 22 goals.
You get what I'm saying? So I think a fit Erling Haaland in the resurgence of Man City is a different beast. I also liked what I saw during preseason. I do think he's definitely getting back into his old self, and I think he's going to be our top goal scorer.
Well, I'll tell you this much. There's a sort of a chart here that shows who do we think is going to be the best front three for any team. And with Marmoush and Ryan Cherky on either side of him, they're looking incredibly dangerous.
I'm telling you.
I mean, now he doesn't have to do any of that other stuff that he had to do before.
Yeah.
He literally now has to stand in one place.
Literally.
He's standing in one place and he's doing one thing.
And one thing about him is that he's very good at every angle. Like, he's a poacher, head, shots, outside the box, inside the box, tap-ins. You get what I'm saying? So he's a cheat code.
No, for real. I can see why you think that, right?
Yeah.
But for mine, and you will see a trend as we go.
Okay.
Right? My top goal scorer prediction is Hugo Ekitike.
Okay. That's interesting.
Right.
Okay.
And the reason why I think Hugo Ekitike is going to be the top goal scorer is because of the fact that we couldn't sign Alexander Isak.
Ooh.
Right?
Okay, so you think that's going to play in his psyche, him as a player?
I think him as a player, no.
Okay.
Because he's always had one job. You know, he literally even said in his, signing interview that, listen, he knows that he's been brought in here to score lots of goals.
Yeah.
And, he's really going to try to do his best to translate what he did in Germany over into the Premier League, And I'm just looking at the support around him. I think Hugo Ekitike has the best attacking support frame. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you think about the things that a striker could ask for.
Yeah.
You're asking for space. You're asking for your wing backs to really open up even more space in sort of the development of the attack. You're asking for quick transitions.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan Gravenbach, that turn, I still haven't seen anything like it in the Premier League for a very long time, since Yaya Toure.
Yeah.
You're also asking for someone to help you in times of weakness. And I think with players such as Cody Gakpo, who can then switch with him and play in the middle, with guys like Florian Wirtz, who's very much attack-minded and can play in that advanced 10 role. Mo Salah, who's also a stats mongerer, as we've said
before. Who's the starting front three, according to you?
We don't know.
No,
but
like, what do you suspect?
So we don't have Alexander Isak, so it's obviously Hugo Ekitike. And on the left, I've got Cody Gakpo.
Okay. And then Salah.
And then Mo Salah.
Got you.
Yeah. So
that's what I also actually envisage.
So for me, that equals goals. To me, that equals lots and lots of goals for Hugo Ekitike.
I hear you. And I actually agree with you. I think it's for him to mess it up.
Yeah.
The setup is there for him, right? There is also for lack of a better word, a fear that we might see what happened a couple of seasons ago with Salah and Mane towards the end of their relationship, right?
Yeah.
When they fought a lot, particularly around decision-making in the box for both of them, right? Okay. Where both of them had the selfishness of a striker, right? We saw in the earlier stages of their relationship, they complement each other very well, right? However, in the later stage, I think both of them were quite ambitious, and that led to, being selfish, which is always a great thing for a coach because you want that.
Wait, hang on. So who do you think that relationship is going to be between?
I foresee that happening from a Salah
and Ekitike competing for goals.
Yeah, because remember, Ekitike has to sort of prove himself, right? And the one way he needs to do that, especially if he knows the Alexander Isak situation, right? Mm-hmm. And there's a possibility of him joining in January. Mm-hmm. That means he has a small window to prove himself to a certain degree, if he's going to be the starter, if he's going to be the main guy.
Yeah.
Right? And to say, actually, I do deserve to be the main. Let Isak fight for the position when he gets here.
Yes.
But it shouldn't be a given thing.
Right.
So meaning he has this window to sort of prove himself for that, right? Now, you also have Mo Salah coming off of the back of one of his best seasons ever, right?
Right.
And he's still on the high, still on the confident level, right? Mm-hmm. So, selfishly, when that's your mindset as a striker, right, there will be those opportunities where you could either pass him or you take the shot.
Right.
And I think 9 times out of 10, Mo Salah's going to take that shot, right?
Right.
But then again, and vice versa, right? Whereas if Ekitike is with the ball, and he can pass, there's an easier pass, or he either takes the shot. He's going to take the shot.
Right.
Because he's a striker, number one, right? So I do foresee friction in that regard. But also, look, it's also good problems to have.
Right.
In any case. If those are the sort of frictions that you have in a team, it means value you have goal-hungry forwards. And that's how it should be. So I just wanted to raise that point.
I don't see that happening, and I'll tell you one main reason.
Okay.
Mo Salah was 6 assists ahead at number 1 in the top assists
100%
last season.
100%. But
so Mo Salah actually there's actually a well-publicized conversation between Mo Salah and Arne Slot to say, let me do what I want, and I will still assist.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
That was their trade-off.
Yeah.
I'm going to let you do what you want, but please pass my players.
Got you.
Mo Salah said, if you let me do anything I want, I will pass to your players.
Got you.
All of that. And that's exactly what happens. So I don't think it's going to be a cannibalistic relationship.
No, for sure.
I think it's going to be an amplifying relationship. So the way you're saying it, it's almost as if there are finite goals. We don't only have 50 goals in a season. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then they have to kind of like decide who gets how many.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They're not. It's not a scrap for who can get.
Got you.
From a pot of goals.
Got you.
This is not Bournemouth. This is not.
You.
You know what I'm saying? This is not Arsenal.
Yeah.
But anyways, So I don't think that's gonna happen. I think Hugo Ekitike kind of. Well, all you need to do also is just look at how Mo Salah played with Darwin Núñez.
Yeah.
There was no cannibalizing there.
Yeah, look, it's
the only difference is that where Darwin Núñez misses, Hugo Ekitike scores, and that's what I think is the main difference between, say, like a Hugo Ekitike and a Darwin Núñez.
Got you.
So if Darwin Núñez scored all of his chances, top goal scorer. You know what I'm saying?
Got you.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay, no, we'll see. I just foresee it because of the dynamics. I think. Look, Ekitike needs to prove himself. The jury is out on him, and he knows it.
Yeah.
And he's going into the season under pressure.
Yeah.
And Mo Salah, on the other hand, does not have as much pressure. Also, he's very seasoned, so he knows what he's doing, right? But what I'm saying though is that as a forward, right? One thing you love that affirms you is scoring goals.
Yes.
So when the goals start drying up, it changes your mindset. That's all I'm saying. So you might be a Mo Salah giving and all those things, but when it's 10 games in and you've only scored 2 goals, as Mo Salah, you start reevaluating those passes.
Fair enough.
That's all I'm saying.
No, I agree. In that specific, unlikely scenario. In that very specific, highly unlikely scenario in Liverpool where goals are drying up, that will happen, but I don't see that happening.
Okay, cool.
Right.
Let's move right along. Next up, let's jump into the Champions League.
Woo!
Exciting. I think let's start here. EPL team that will do well in the Champions League. So better than all of the other EPL teams. And what are you basing that on? Right, so on the back of shout-outs to Arsenal, they shocked a lot of us around the Champions League performance. Shout-outs to them, they did very well last season.
Shout out to Mikel Merino.
Actually,
game changer.
He really was.
You're right.
So which team right now is going to surprise all of us and actually do well, better than all the other teams in the EPL?
Well, it won't be a surprise, but I think Liverpool will do better than all the other teams.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
This season.
I mean, Liverpool was the only team that beat the winners in a match in the knockout phases of the Champions League.
Okay.
You know, in Paris. Liverpool won 1-0.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I think, obviously we saw PSG was a team possessed last season. It took the brilliance of Maresca to kind of like stop them from taking everything in the world.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I really think with more goals, as we've just described, Liverpool does incredibly well in the Champions League this coming season. I think Arne Slot also, guys, we must not forget that last season was Arne Slot's first season. He topped the Champions League group stages in his first season and he won the Premier League. That is a very, very rare thing for any player to do. For any coach to do. So I think this year he does one up and, gets at least to the, let's call it the semi-finals.
Okay. Semi-finals.
I'm calling Liverpool semi-finals in the Champions League.
Really?
Yeah. But honorable mention to Chelsea. Chelsea has signed 49 players in the past 4 seasons. Right?
Yeah.
And it's a lot, right? And they've had many, obviously there's lots of jokes and lots of ups and downs. But I think there's a really underlying positive to all of that movement, right?
Yeah.
Because everyone is very certain of what it means to be a new striker at Chelsea, or a new player at Chelsea.
Yeah.
What you need to do, even if you don't know yourself, the entire staff, complement, everyone at Chelsea just knows how to get players in and running.
There's
You know
a
what I'm
system.
saying? And I think Maresca, also, by the way, his first season in the Premier League.
Actually, we actually
You know what
never
I'm saying?
speak about that.
We
Yeah.
never speak enough about
Yeah.
Maresca having his first season in the Premier League,
And doing
winning
so
2
well.
trophies,
Yep.
and actually ending up in the top 4
Yeah.
of the Premier League, where Chelsea hadn't previously. So, I mean, let's look at the players that they have, man. Liam Delap, coming through from the Championship, top goal scorer, promoted his team.
Yep.
That's a powerful signing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Gittins, that's where they were lacking. You know what I'm saying? They offloaded Madueke, and then they've got Gittins now coming off of the left.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Cole Palmer, obviously, he's the Chelsea floor inverts.
And they're trying to
You know
get
what I'm trying to say?
Garnacho from United, which is also, I think, would add to their depth.
That's depth.
100%.
That's depth right there. And
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, Chelsea has a bunch of other players. Reece Williams.
Yeah.
Reece James, sorry.
Reece James,
Reece James stays fit. Best right back in the world.
100%.
You know what I'm saying?
100%.
So I really think Chelsea's a dark horse. No, not really a dark horse. I think they're the underdog. In
Look,
the Champions League this coming season.
you kind of stole my team. I was going to throw a spanner in the works, but you kind of made the case for me. Chelsea is actually my team for EPL team doing very well in the Champions League.
Mm-hmm.
I think coming off of the season that they've had, coming off of the Club World Cup, and I factored in that the Champions League is still a tournament. So tournament mindset is different to league mindset,
yeah.
right? And I think Chelsea fares very well in tournament setups, right?
Yeah.
And I think it kind of suits them. So I do foresee a situation where coming off of, their Club World Cup win, a level of confidence that they can go all the way in a tournament such as Champions League. So I think they are the team to look out for. I think they're going to do very well. I actually even see them going as far as the final.
Whew. Okay.
Yeah, so Chelsea's the one team that I think is going to do very well.
Final really is hardcore because of the next subject that we're going to address. Since we're here, we might as well go all the way, right?
100%.
Who do you think is going to win the Champions League 2025-2026? Gox, I'll let you go first.
So I think this season is going to be very interesting in the sense that it's very difficult to predict because I think there's a lot of teams that are scorned, number one.
Yeah.
From last season. I think PSG pulled one up on everyone, right?
Yes.
And you have Real Madrid that is definitely going to reinforce on the bounce of a new coach, new players. So there's a resurgence there going on also, right? They just named their number 9, gave him the number 9, in fact, and said, "We're trusting
that
you, my boy."
That made me very happy.
Right?
That made me really happy.
So
Hendrik.
Yeah, so there's a resurgence there. Something happening there. They are cooking something, right? And knowing their history in the Champions League, you can't rule them out.
Absolutely.
So Liverpool, right? I think Liverpool is scorned because of how they came out of the Champions League last season. And I think they have a point to prove because I think more than anything, they were one of the favorites, judging by how they were playing last season. So Liverpool, there's a case to be made there for them. Arsenal, I also think Arsenal has a point to prove. Looking at also how far they went, I think there will be a sense internally to say, guys, we can actually go all the way, right? Especially because also it's a tournament. So I think there will be that sort of thinking to say, if we're struggling in the league, Champions League, if we went as far as we went last season, guys, we can definitely actually go all the way. So I think there's a strong case for those 3 teams, not to mention, obviously, the defending champions, right, who are on an up and up right now. It's very hard to stop them. We were quite surprised, all of us, that Chelsea actually stopped them in the final of the Club World Cup. But for me, I think the winners of the Champions League this season is going to be PSG.
PSG defenders.
The defenders, I think they're going to defend it very well. I think what Enrique is cooking there is quite unique. I think, if anything, they're just going to become stronger this season. I think they're quite aware that everyone is now gunning for them. Because remember, last season they won it as the underdogs. No one was looking at them.
Yeah.
But now everyone is looking at them, right? And I think they will have a point to prove. And I think the mindset is going to be, Enrique is going to tell these players that, look, if you want to be the best in the world or be regarded as the best in the world, you have to repeat the greatness more than anything. For people to take PSG serious, we have to repeat that greatness. And I think they are capable, looking at how much the team gels. And I think they understand tournament football very well.
Yeah, they do.
So I think PSG is going to be the team.
Well, I mean, they've really worked hard as a team to get to where they are, where they're actually winning the Champions League. You know, that's been the one tournament that they have
100%.
that's been missing from their trophy cabinet for the longest time.
Yeah.
And I agree with you in many ways. You know, I think Jose Enrique is just one of the best. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Jose Enrique? Jose Enrique, the coach?
Luis.
Luis.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, and obviously you have two players from PSG in your top three Ballon d'Or
100%.
nominees.
100%.
So I understand why you'd say that. But I also think in terms of scorned teams, I would actually say Inter Milan is also another scorned team.
Yes.
Inter Milan, I don't think anyone expected the Champions League final to go the way it did. And, you know, that was a very, very massive banana peel of a game.
Embarrassing, in fact.
Incredibly embarrassing. They slipped and fell on their ass, you know. But I think in the coming season, I think they will actually want to sort of like replicate that run and then do one more. You know what I'm saying? But I think there's a different team to speak of.
Okay.
I think Barcelona will actually win the Champions League.
Whoa. That's a bold prediction.
It definitely is a bold prediction. And I think where Barcelona actually went wrong is they lost energy towards the end of the season.
Okay.
Guys like Rafinha, I mean, I don't think Rafinha is mentally strong. And you can't have a 16-year-old do everything for you.
Yeah.
Right? But I think Lamine Yamal is a type of player that he learns incredibly quickly.
Yeah.
He fixes his mistakes almost like, it looks like he's a completely different player after he fixes his mistake. I mean, previously he dribbled to no end. Now he dribbles to a specific end.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Better than anyone in the world now. Also, he couldn't shoot before, like a typical, fast speed mongerer. But now Lamine Yamal's shots are amongst the best in the world. So I think Lamine Yamal does one better and actually becomes this number 10 that he's been given. You know what I'm saying? So I really do see Barcelona doing just that. And I think as far as fatigue is concerned, bringing in a player like Marcus Rashford. Yeah. I mean, this guy really, he borrows energy at the end of the season to his teammates.
And just to add to your point, I think we might see a different Rashford just on the base of there's relieved pressure.
Relieved pressure, there's depth in his position, there's someone he can rely on.
100%. So, I mean,
the eyes are not on him as much as with the English media, Manchester United, and being a youth player from the city. Like there was a lot happening there for him. Yeah. And I think just the other quality around the team, I think there's a lot of energy, there's a lot of young, a lot of potential. You know what I mean?
I get you.
Yeah, so I really do see Barcelona winning the Champions League next season.
Okay. Let's get into the meat, the exciting part of the bone. Top 6.
Premier League top 6?
Premier League top 6.
How you want to do this?
So let's go pound for pound. We'll start at number 6.
We're starting at number 6.
and then we'll somehow then announce who we think is going to win the league.
Absolutely. Right. So at number 6, I think you will obviously see.
Okay.
By the time we get to number 2, you'll know what's missing.
Yeah, for sure.
At number 6, I have Manchester United.
Oh, really?
Yes, I do have Manchester United at number 6. I think Manchester United does 9 spots better than last season. But I don't think top 4 is on the cards. Just because, not because of them. Yeah. I do understand the Ruben Amorim project I do see sort of what he's doing there. But I compare that, unfortunately, to the likes of Newcastle last season, or Nottingham Forest last season, or Aston Villa last season.
Got you.
Where there's still a lot of broken pieces.
Got you.
So yes, you do have a lot of greatness, a lot of energy and stuff like that, but there are a lot of Premier League teams that have that too.
I get you.
You know what I'm saying? So especially with the outgoings that are expected, so there's a lot of movement and stuff. So I think Manchester United, 6th spot, amazing.
Okay. My number 6, Newcastle.
Ooh, still.
Yeah. I see Newcastle retaining, top 6 finish at number 6. I think Newcastle, what Eddie Howe has managed to do there is build some sort of a system. They have a way and a style of play, which is very key, right? I think it's just unfortunate that they haven't gotten enough clout to attract the type of players they want to attract, right? It's just very unfortunate. But I think more than anything, again, if you have Isak staying, and I disagree with you, by the way, on the minutes issue. I don't think Eddie Howe benches Isak. I think more than anything, you would want to get as much out of Isak whilst you can. And they already have a system going, by the way, from last season. So they can just pick up from last season and maybe slowly start integrating a replacement or another way, an alternative way of playing without him. But I do still see him as the front runner, as the guy, as the go-to. And I think with him in the team, they definitely retain their top 6 finish.
Well, I will counter what you said, and I'll say if there's any team that would need to bolster up, is a team that is newly entering Champions League again.
100%, for sure.
So the fact that Newcastle is entering the Champions League, and they have not bolstered up their team,
100%.
I see the argument. Put them at the disadvantage.
I see the argument.
Yeah, but the counter argument also does make sense.
But I think what will happen is what normally happens when teams such as Newcastle surprise us by qualifying for the Champions League, is that they're going to have an early exit in the Champions League anyway, and then they can focus on the league. So especially looking at the dynamics that they didn't bolster up their team, so I foresee that happening more than anything. Number 5.
Okay, so at number 5, don't hate. This is no beef. I don't want no beef with nobody. No smoke. But I have Arsenal.
How did I know this, bruh? Ask me, how did I know this? Bruh, what's your problem with Arsenal?
I got no problem with Arsenal.
Like, nah. I've got no beef with There's no way, bruh.
All I'm saying about Arsenal right now is
this
that...
guy.
All I'm saying about Arsenal is that I previously on the show have said that Arsenal, on paper, are one of the best teams, right?
Okay.
But it just never translates. And my main issue with Arsenal, to be honest with you, in terms of
they just signed hookeries.
In terms of why I don't believe in Arsenal, is because of I don't think the players take Arteta seriously.
Really?
I don't think that. Have you seen his thing with the light bulb thing? He's got the light bulb. He's playing "You'll Never Walk Alone" in training sessions. I think it's a bit of a it's a bit of a cartoon show over there. You know what I'm saying? So I think Arsenal just doesn't get serious enough. They're not getting serious. You know what I mean? And you start to see Arsenal's not getting serious when they play serious teams.
Okay.
And Arsenal really, obviously they did Madrid, right?
But number 5 though.
Number 5.
Because
because of how serious the top 4 is.
Okay.
That's another thing, you see.
Okay.
So,
okay.
besides...
Are you also basing this on the business that's been happening?
I'm basing it on the business that's been happening. I'm basing it on, you know what I'm saying, how the teams in my top 4 have done previously, what they've done to prepare for the new season.
Got you.
Which is, to me, superior to Arsenal.
Okay, interesting. Yeah. That's very, very interesting. My number 5, I have Villa.
Aston Villa
at number 5. I think Aston Villa, they're definitely cooking. Again, similar to Newcastle. It's just quite disappointing that they haven't been able to attract the type of players they want to attract. Okay. Right? They've been trying to do business. I've been monitoring some of their attempts.
Yeah.
I can see what Unai Emery is trying to do.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, the project is not enticing enough for the caliber of players they want, right? And I think that puts them at a disadvantage. So I see them sort of stagnant. They're not going to really move much of the needle. They're still going to maintain what they did last season.
Yeah.
But not necessarily, maybe they might win a trophy, maybe, right?
Okay.
But also, I think they definitely going to suffer the same way that Newcastle, is going to suffer in this upcoming season. But I do see them maintaining that top 6 finish.
Okay.
Because they also have a very well-oiled machine right
Yeah.
now. They have a very good system.
Yeah.
Hopefully they get 1 or 2 reinforcements in that will help in terms of squad depth. But also with such projects, also it's very risky because there's not much depth there. So one critical injury kills everything.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I think Villa is definitely number 5.
That's a very hot take. For me, considering that like teams like Aston Villa tend to like kind of like dip in and out of the top 5.
Yeah. But I think right now they have a really good coach.
yeah,
So I think
but I
there's
think
a
Unai Emery
structure there.
Yeah,
Right.
structurally, yeah, they
Speaking
really
of a hot take, my number 4 is could be a contentious one.
All right, you go.
Man United at number 4.
Okay, Man United at number 4.
Okay, here's the argument. Obviously, the business has been good
Yes.
in the transfer window. But over and above that, I think the fact that we're not competing in Europe plays in our favor. So we are going to take the role that Chelsea played last season,
Big facts.
right?
Yeah.
A lot of people didn't see Chelsea coming because of that factor.
Yeah.
Because they were only focused on the league. And they could actually rebuild. So here's the other thing that is a major player in our context is that we have more recovery time than the other teams, the other top teams, that is, right? So when the other teams are competing in Europe, we're recovering. And we sort of have enough training sessions, which was one of Amorim's complaints last season, right? Was that we didn't have enough training sessions, so he couldn't really embed his ideas over and above the fact that obviously there were injuries and other things that were teething. But more than anything, having that sort of recovery time and that sort of training time also helps embed the ideas deeper.
Yeah.
So I do think that a lot of people are not going to see us coming, but especially with the business that we've done, I'm crossing fingers, we lock in a midfielder because Casemiro, the legs are gone. Ugarte, I don't think fits the system. Ironically, actually, because Ugarte was Amorim's player at Sporting once upon a time.
Yeah.
It's quite shocking that he's really not clicking. I don't know why. But if we can do the business and get a midfielder before the transfer window closes, I definitely think we are now at challenging.
What type of midfielder? You need a CDM?
We definitely need a CDM. But like a very...
Not an attacking midfielder.
No. We need a CDM, one that is press resistant. Because currently there isn't a press resistant player at United. Mainu tries, but he's not as good in tight spaces, right? So if we can get like a very press resistant, very solid CDM that has the legs, one that can also stop the trouble from up front without it getting to our defense. We need that sort of player. So I think that's our biggest issue more than anything. Casemiro doesn't have the legs. I think he has the acumen and the will, but I think the legs are gone.
The legs are gone. I don't think.
But
Casemiro can play a league, at least if he's playing one tournament.
100%. You get what I'm saying?
He's good for that.
He's
and
good for
I think
that.
they could also try for the domestic trophies.
Exactly.
So
right?
I think there is a little bit of something there, and I think with Manchester United, I will say one thing that gives United an advantage is the fans.
For sure.
So that extra energy, people always discount it to say like, the fans are not on the field or whatever, but they really are the 13th or the 12th player.
100%.
And towards the end of the season, the fans can really get you there.
Yeah.
So my number 4, and this is based on business done.
Okay.
In the transfer window and, at the end of the season, coming into the new season.
Yeah.
And it's Tottenham Hotspurs.
Ooh.
Tottenham Hotspurs has signed, their transfer window, I think, might be better than Liverpool's.
Whew.
If I'm very honest.
That's a hot take.
Mohamed Kudus
Kudus is a very good
Mateus
signing.
Tell, Danso, Toka Takai. He's a Japanese, the best defender.
Not familiar.
Best defender in Japan.
Okay.
Right? I know the J League is not really
I was
a thing.
about to say.
The J League is not a thing. No, the J League is not a thing, but he's the best player. Like, he's a prominent player, and he's playing a centre-back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So he's kind of like a maverick from, you know what I'm saying?
Got you.
Think Neymar in Brazil before
Got
he
you.
came to Europe.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? We all knew Neymar.
Yeah.
Even before he played Champions League, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So Kota Takai is that type of player. Obviously, he might take a bit of time to warm up.
Yeah.
You know, there's a cultural thing that he might need to get over. But, I mean, Spurs already had a solid defense. They're bolstering up in all the right places. They bought a new, three centre-backs, actually. You know, Kevin Danso as well as Luka Voskovic. They also signed Paulinho. You know, he's a centre defensive midfielder. They're signing all the correct type of players, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? So they're not only focused on defense, but they also focus on attack. You know, with players like Mateus Tell as well as Mohamed Kudus. So I really see Spurs, especially with the energy that Thomas Frank and the football mind. You know, Thomas Frank is a player. Well, he's a football player in his mind.
Yeah.
You know, I liken him to the likes of Pep Guardiola.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Rafa Benitez.
Yeah.
Like guys that play the game. They're really obsessed about football.
100%.
And I think Thomas Frank really is in there, and that's why I put Spurs at number 4.
I'm not mad at that at all. As you know, I'm a
Yeah.
Spurs fan, so I'm not mad at that. And also just looking at the business that they've done, also I do think there will be a bit of a difference this season. Coming off of the bounce of winning also the Europa.
Exactly.
So there might be a level of excitement there. And also I think there's less pressure that they're going to be playing with. Even I like what Daniel Levy said during a recent interview around Thomas Frank doesn't need to win the league.
Hey, you're a big fan of Daniel Levy, eh?
No, not really, actually.
Or just of the comment?
Yeah, the comment I think it does wonders because there was that perception that besides the perception, the proof is in the pudding. Tottenham does fire a lot of coaches, right?
Yeah.
They're quick to fire coaches. So I think when you get that sort of confidence from the man at the top, it kind of, I think, relieves a bit of pressure as a coach. So Thomas Frank, I think, can go into the season knowing that he can just embed his ideas and, you know, push whatever agenda he's trying to push. So I think I'm not mad at your number 4 at all.
Right. So before we get into the top 3, let's just recap our 6 to 4.
Yeah.
So I had Man United. You had
Newcastle, number
Newcastle
6
FC. At number 5,
5,
I had Arsenal. You had?
I had Villa.
Aston Villa. At number 4, I had Spurs, and you had
Man United. And
right.
then my number 3.
Get into the top 3.
Yeah. So with the top 2, I think let's do them together so that we can justify why this one is
Fair
number 2
enough.
and why this is
But
number
I'm already
1.
looking at who's missing here. And I can already see we have the same 3 teams missing.
Not really.
Yes.
We have the same 2 teams missing.
Oh, 2 teams missing. I
yeah,
see.
yeah.
Okay, cool, yeah.
So my number 3 is Arsenal.
Okay.
I think to your earlier point around the other teams seem to have reinforced and it's not looking good for Arsenal. I think their window was last season.
Yeah.
And they missed their window more than anything. It was for them to lose last season and they lost it. But I think right now reality is going to kick in again. Other teams are looking stronger. Other teams are looking to also make an impact. And I don't see them going beyond number 3 in terms of their league performance. But then to my earlier point again, I do see them doing very well in other competitions like the Champions League. I think they might even bag a trophy, maybe in the FA Cup, Carabao Cup, you know.
For a change.
You know, so that's my number 3.
All right, cool. No, I understand that. I mean, considering the other teams that you named, the way you position in your argument, I understand why you think that, but I don't see them getting any higher than the other. Newcastle, definitely above them, definitely above Aston Villa. So as far as the teams that they're above in your list, I see it.
Okay.
Because they're still above those. Arsenal's still above those teams in my list as well.
Yeah.
Because I don't have Aston Villa or Newcastle.
100%.
But they won they won above Man United.
Okay.
Cool. So we agree there. My number 3 is Chelsea.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I think Chelsea.
Isn't it interesting that I don't have Chelsea in my top 6? Did you realize that?
No, I realized it. You said they were going to win the Champions League. So.
Yeah. Okay, let's go.
So that already tells me what I need to know. So I have Chelsea there, and I think Enzo Maresca
as number 3.
As number 3. Enzo Maresca's second season in the Premier League. You know, he's a very strong-headed guy, similar to Ruben Amorim, similar to Arne Slot. These new guys are really like hardcore, right?
Yeah.
These guys don't take nonsense. They're not airy-fairy. They're really all about the game. Yeah. And I think, with the new signings, I think that'll be an amazing space for Chelsea to finish at number 3.
Not mad at that at all. Not mad at that.
Okay, cool. So should I do my top 2?
Yeah, let's get into it.
So in my top 2 positions, obviously, I think you would have assumed.
Yeah. Who's number 2?
Number 2, I have Man City, and I have Liverpool
at number 1,
defending the Premier League.
Okay, cool. Let's hear.
Why?
Yeah.
Okay, why? I mean, Pep Guardiola's back.
Yeah.
We saw it at the end of last season.
Yeah.
Guys, I keep telling people, City does not lose from January. Obviously, Pep Guardiola's problems were still persisting past January, but we saw it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's directly proportionate. As soon as Pep Guardiola's problems, personal issues are gone, he's back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So they don't have the hangover or the question marks around certain players, like for instance with the Kevin De Bruyne situation. You know what I'm saying? So Kevin De Bruyne is now gone. They've just put in Reinders. Tijani Reinders is going to be the new replacement for Kevin De Bruyne. They've got an incredible attack, and I think Pep Guardiola is back.
Okay. So, but you think you guys are going to defend successfully?
I think Liverpool will defend successfully. I think Arne Slot, again, just based on what I said about Chelsea.
Yeah.
It's Arne Slot's second season in the Premier League, so now he has a history.
Gotcha.
Now this is his team.
Gotcha.
You know, no more excuses for Arne Slot. I think
not that he needed any, but
he didn't need them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But now there are no more excuses.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? So you have your team. You've been here for a year. There's only one place to be for you at the end of the season. Is at the top.
Okay, my top 2 is the same, just the other way around. I have Man City winning it. I think on the bounce of what happened last season, I think they're very scorned. I don't think they love the position that they finished in, and I don't think they are happy with Liverpool actually dominating on their watch. So I foresee Man City actually coming back this season as the champions. Just also looking at their business, looking at player fitnesses. There is also, though, an issue, which is also breaking news, by the way, when we're recording this. Rodri suffered a setback.
Again?
Yes, and he's now scheduled to be back mid-September.
Oh, my word.
Yeah, so that also plays a huge role, though, in terms of, we know Rodri makes them tick. So that might affect a bit. But I think just looking at the aggression, I think they'll still survive.
Okay.
And I think with the games that I've watched so far, honestly, I saw the old Man City back.
Okay, but fine. So I don't want to actually argue about this one. I mean, I think it's pretty clear we agree.
Yeah.
It's just I'm a Liverpool fan, so I'll put Liverpool
sure.
above. But I got a question for you, man.
I know the question.
What's your problem with Chelsea? What problem does this guy have with you?
I know your question.
Chelsea's not even in his top 6. That's disrespect, man.
Look, man.
You put Chelsea below United,
I
Aston Villa, and
I
Newcastle.
said Chelsea's going to win the Champions League.
How?
I said Chelsea's going to... It is possible that you can win the Champions League and do very bad in the league. It's possible. It's very possible.
Explain.
And I think Chelsea's going to be one of those teams.
Please explain to me.
I think Chelsea's going to pick their battles, man. I don't see Chelsea dominating.
With the depth they have.
Yeah, even so. Because remember, even with their depth, let's be honest, right? The players coming off of the bench, the drop-off is very glaring. Let's be honest. In as much as on paper... No, it's to your Arsenal argument.
Everyone starts from zero.
On paper, the Chelsea squad is very good. But in terms of how the team gels, their starting 11 is good. However, the guys on the bench are not matching the energy that the starting 11 has. I've seen this. I saw it in the Club World Cup.
You reckon Chelsea finished below Newcastle, Aston Villa, and Manchester
Man
United?
Yeah.
In the Premier League.
100%.
You think Chelsea... Oh, my word. Guys, Chelsea fans, again, every episode I have to do this. A disclaimer. This is in Cox's opinion. Please come after this guy, not after me. I have Chelsea finishing at number 3.
I have Chelsea winning the Champions League. What more do you guys want from me? Like, what's wrong with you guys?
Top 6? Out of the top 6?
And on that note, we're closing off this episode. Thank you so much for tuning in. Yet another banging episode of #PitchNZA. Let's do this again on our next episode.
Yeah, for sure, guys. We've given you enough to comment about now, honestly speaking. Guys, please jump in on all our social media. Actually, on all your social media, we are on there. We're on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter,
X.
Or Twitter. X,
oh, yeah, sorry.
But most importantly, guys, when you're on your commute to and from work, get on the podcast, Apple Podcasts and Spotify. We are on there. So, yeah, that's us.
Where?